What is up, guys? I'm your friendly neighborhood web war fanatic, and I thought that this would be a fun video for the end of the year to rank every single expansion that's came out in Marvel Champions. We have 10 big boxes in the game of Marvel Champions now, starting from the core set all the way to the Civil War expansion, which is the newest release one that just came out. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting them in this tier list right here. And I do want to clarify really quickly here before we begin. So we have like bottom three, middle three, best three, and the goated one. But for the bottom three here, these are still awesome expansions that I probably would still recommend to buy, and I probably still love them a lot. It's just gonna be at the bottom three of like all the expansions that we have in the game, right? So like, I like Marvel Champions, I like playing the game. I like every expansion, but I do like certain expansions more than other ones. So like that's why like some of them will be higher, some of them might be lower, but they're all still great. So I said right here, bottom three, but still awesome. Okay, this is not like an F tier or like a D tier. They are still awesome here, guys. And then the other disclaimer that I want to say before we begin is that this is just my personal opinion of how much I like these expansions. This list that I'm about to make isn't even what I'll recommend for newer players. I have buyer's guides for that I'll put, somewhere for you guys to click on. That's going to be for new players. This is just completely my bias, what I like the most, my favorite expansions in Marvel Champions. This is completely subjective. It's just my personal opinion. There's no like objectivity in this at all. So yeah, everything that I'm about to say in this video, just my opinion, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into it here. So I'm gonna go with a safe pick here. We're gonna go with Mutant Genesis to start us off. Mutant Genesis is the first mutant box of the Mutant Trilogy. I think that it's not a hot take. It's pretty normal to say that it is one of the best expansions in the game of Marvel Champions right here. I mean, Mutant Genesis, let's hop over the Hall of Heroes here. And then Mutant Genesis. Okay, so the two heroes in the box are Shadowcat and Colossus. Colossus, I think he's awesome. I really love playing Colossus. He's a very unique and interesting kit with like two tough status cards. Very cool. Shadowcat, she's not my personal favorite, but I've grown to like her more throughout, the days I've been playing Marvel Champions, and she does have a very unique kit, which I can definitely appreciate. So yeah, the way she defends is also very cool. And then we also have, for the villains here, we have Sabretooth. Sabretooth, he is a good scenario, although he's not one of my go-tos. I do respect him for what he does. I like the mechanic of like trying to save Robert Kelly, even though I don't like Robert Kelly. I don't really want to save him, but like, it makes sense. You have to save the super annoying guy that you don't really want to save, but you have to save him if you want to like win the scenario. So that's interesting. Project Wide Awake, I've also grown to love a lot more the more I play this. This is definitely one of those scenarios that I can play like every single day. This scenario is very cool. I like the thematics where like if an ally is defeated by enemy attack, they get taken and they get abducted. And then if you get enough of your cards abducted, then like you can lose the game with another lose condition, which is very cool. Master mode, I like a little bit less than Project Wide Awake. I think that the Magneto ally being a part of the scenario makes it a little bit too easy. But other than that, I mean, it's still a fine scenario. Mansion Attack, I think it's fun. I just don't like it as much as the other scenarios in the box because there is a lot of upkeep to it. And there's not like that much upkeep. It's really just the constant effect of main schemes. So like I forget whenever every character has Retaliate 1, or I'll forget whenever each ally minion gains toughness. Like, and then they might change throughout the course of the game. So like I play the whole game trying to memorize that everyone has Retaliate 1, and then if this main scheme flips and becomes like this main scheme, I now got to memorize every character has +1 attack, and I may forget that for like an ally or a minion. So not my favorite. But we also have Magneto as the capstone villain, and he is awesome. One of my favorite villains in the entire game of Marvel Champions. So, I mean, this is a very cool box. I think, solid pick here to go in one of the best three expansions in the game of Marvel Champions. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Okay, so since we start off here with a safe pick, I think we should move on to a hot take here. So what's a hot take, guys? Oh man. Um, I think Galaxies Most Wanted is going to be a hot take. I'm going to put it in middle three. Middle three. I think that it is a solid expansion. And I know that probably 95% of the Marvel Champs community, if not 99%, has Galaxies Most Wanted as the bottom one. Not even like the bottom three, like the worst expansion in the entire game. And I can see where they're coming from, especially if you're a newer player or if you like, just want to kind of like have like a chill, casual, game night with friends or something like that. This is probably not the box for that. But if you're like me and you like, having super hardcore challenges and you want to face like the most difficult villain in the game, this is a box that has that. So let's jump over really quickly to Galaxy's Most Wanted here. So I'm talking about Ronan the Accuser, right? He is the capstone villain, and in my opinion, he is the most difficult challenge in Marvel Champions because I think a true solo is more difficult than a multiplayer, and he is the most difficult true solo villain. In my opinion. So yeah, he is awesome. He's that epic challenge. I love that when I really want to like test a hero, like pressure test him, or like pressure test a deck, or like feel very satisfied with myself because I can like build a strong deck for like a weaker hero. Ronan the Accuser is that ultimate test. I don't like that thematically. He's not the strongest guy in the world, so I don't know why he's the strongest villain in Marvel Champions. I kind of preferred if it were like Thanos or something like that has the same mechanics as Ronan, but it's okay. I mean, mechanically, I actually like him, and his toughness, I don't think it's actually through surging, right? I know he does surge a lot, which is really, really annoying, but he actually has like cool little things in his kit, right? So like on main scheme stage 2B, while the Power Stone is attached to Ronan the Accuser, threat cannot be removed from this scheme. And then Ronan, whenever you have the Power Stone, he's a force interrupt. Whenever he activates against you, he gets an additional boost card. So it's like negative if you have the Power Stone, but if he has the Power Stone, you can't remove threat from this main scheme here. And he also has where is it? The card that Superior Tactics right here, where if this side scheme is in play, the Power Stone cannot be unattached from Ronan the Accuser, and that side scheme comes straight into play if you review his stage 3 right here, and it puts like the Spirit Tactic side scheme into play, which will also take the Power Stone away from you. So like I really like that balance of how that mechanic works. I'm not going to talk anymore about Ronan, guys. I know a lot of you guys hate him, but yeah, we have Nebula. So this is why the box isn't like a top 3 box for me. I hate Nebula, guys, for all the reasons that you guys don't like Nebula. I probably don't like her for the exact same reason. She, I feel like, is just surging. So like Ronan, I feel like he has interesting stuff. Nebula is just like constant surging. She's so swinging. I feel like I can beat her really easily, but it's not satisfying because I can lose to her in the same way, right? So like she can defeat me. Like she can. I think that it is possible. Like if someone were like to like mechanically like choose what cards to deal to the player, you can build any deck and Nebula will still defeat you. Like I think that Nebula, if she gets the right cards, has a 100% win rate against the player no matter what you do. But I think that Ronan, he actually can't do that. I don't think that there's any combination of Ronan's cards to where he can beat every single deck with every single hero. I think Nebula has. I don't know if that's like a normal way of looking at things, but Nebula is just so annoying because of that. So like she can be super easy or super difficult depending on how much she surges. So like even when I do defeat her, it's not rewarding at all. So Nebula, I mean, she's the worst villain again, in my opinion. So she drops the box a lot down. I actually really like Collector 2 here, Escape the Museum. I don't know why I'm going backwards here, but yeah, he's the third villain in the box. Rowan's the fifth. Nebula was the fourth. But yeah, he's actually really fun. I like him a lot. I like the adventure type of scenario. Collector 1, I like him less, but he's still interesting in what he wants to do, how he collects stuff. The main thing that I don't like about him is a lot of other people don't like this as well, is that he collects his own cards. So when a card leaves play, it goes into the collection. But for some reason, he has like artifacts and stuff. But when his own artifacts leave play, he collects it back, which like makes it worse for the player. So like that's like the only thing that's like mechanically like doesn't make any sense. He should only collect the player cards, right? But yeah, I don't like that part of him. But other than that, I think that he's not that bad. Uh, Drang here, the Brotherhood of Badoon, I feel like this is a pretty easy scenario. I don't really hate it. I don't really like it. It's just like, normal to me. And then the heroes here, we got for the player cards, we have Groot and Rocket. They're both pretty fun and interesting and unique heroes. Not super powerful, but they have very interesting stuff in their kit. So yeah, I mean, overall, this box here, I mean, if it wasn't for Nebula, Galaxies Most Wanted is probably going in the best 3 for me, but Nebula is the one that drops it down. So middle 3, I mean, that's just how much I like it. I know that probably no one watching this agrees, but yeah, there are expansions that I think are worse than Galaxies Most Wanted. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll hop over to a non-controversial take. So I think we'll do like Mutant Genesis in a best 3 is like, not controversial, and then Galaxies Most Wanted is probably like a hot take. So I'll like take turns doing that until I can't anymore, I guess, right? Okay, so let's do a non-controversial take here. So what do I think people would agree with? Um, Let's put. Oh man, this is tough. Okay, I'm gonna put Sinister Motives. It's either best three or it's goaded. And okay, I'm gonna put it in goaded for now. I may change this. I feel like I'm gonna change it, but let's just put it here for now. I mean, in terms of like not the core box, I think that it's definitely the best expansion in the game. It's very, very fun, very interesting stuff going on there. And Spider Box, I told you guys that this list would be super biased. I love Web Warriors, Web Warrior Fanatic. I love Spider People. So Sinister Motives there, definitely gonna go really high up. And I actually think that most people in the community agree that this is the best expansion. I've had polls on my channel, and you guys do agree with me. So this is not a hot take. But yeah, the heroes, with Ghost Spider, I love the way that she plays, even though that a lot of times she doesn't play the way that I want her to. That's okay. I still respect her mechanics for what they are. So like, she's not my favorite here in the game because that's just not my play style. But I respect that, how she wants to play, which is very unique and fun whenever she can really get going. And then we have Miles here. Miles is very strong. He's got a lot of stats lock. I think that he's also very fun. He doesn't have as much aspect synergy as I would like, but still a very cool hero. So both these heroes I think are really awesome. And thematically, I mean Gwen and Miles, they're just awesome guys. So like just having the theme there, I think is very, very cool. And then for the villains here, we have Sandman. Sandman, he's not my favorite scenario. I think that he is a little bit underrated in terms of how difficult people think that he is. But I do like the mechanic where you feel like you are in quicksand because he's accelerating that encounter deck and giving so many acceleration tokens, on the main scheme, constantly like discarding cards from counter deck and milling. That's very thematic to the character. I like that mechanic a lot for him. Unfortunately, I don't like milling, so like he's not one of my favorite villains, but I respect that he feels so thematic in that way. And if I was okay with milling, I'll be more okay with him. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We have the next villain. We have Venom. Venom is so thematic as well with the bell tower, right? Each time you damage Venom with an attack, he gets a boost card on you, and then whenever he attacks, he has a lot more boost and does a lot more damage. Very thematic, very fun. It's just a lot of upkeep for me. But other than that, I mean, it's a very, very fun scenario. I always have fun when I play him. It's just afterwards, I'm like, oh man, I missed so many like things, and I like, missed the upkeep. But other than that, if someone could keep track of that for me, then like Venom is like top tier. Mysterio here. So Mysterio is super annoying. I don't actually like the scenario, but I can't really detract from it because he's meant to be annoying. Like I imagine if I was fighting Mysterio in real life, like if I was like Spider-Man and I had like powers and I was fighting Mysterio, I would never want to fight him. He would be so annoying with all of his shenanigans, and he really feels that way in Marvel Champions. So I like that they did the theme like on point with that, and I respect the scenario, even though I'm not a big fan of it. Mechanically, thematically, very annoying guy trying to put all these encounter cards in your deck and do annoying shenanigans. So yeah, very thematic there. Sinister Six, I love this scenario, guys. Also feels very thematic with a Sinister Six swarming up on you. You punch them down, defeat them, and they may come back, and they're constantly trying to chase you. You have to clear off all the threat from light at the end here to win the game. Very thematic there. You flip it over, there's a hazard icon here. Super thematic to this scenario. Yeah, very, very fun adventure scenario. And then finally, we have my favorite villain in the entire game of Marvel Champions, Venom Goblin. Of course, if it's my favorite villain, I gotta put this box very high up. One of the most thematic and epic type of feeling scenarios in the game of Marvel Champions. You have the three parts of Manhattan here, and Venom Goblin is on his glider, gliding all throughout every single part of Manhattan and trying to make everything turn into like symbiotic environments there, which we don't want. He's going to take over Manhattan here with the symbiote suit. Norman Osborn with the symbiote suit, guys. One of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life. That is so freaking cool. So yeah, I mean the art here looks awesome. Yeah, I just love the mechanics of it. I love that there's symbiotic stuff going on, but also Norman Osborn is the guy behind it all. So very, very fun, difficult scenario. I think that he's the most difficult multiplayer scenario in the game of Marvel Champions, but he's definitely no slouch in a true solo either. So yeah, he's a very, very good challenge for your decks as well, like Ronin. So yeah, favorite villain in the game. So of course, we're putting Sinister Motives very high up here. But we'll see if it stays. I'm not sure that it'll stay, but we'll just have it there. Okay, next we're gonna jump onto a hot take here. You know what? I already know what I'm gonna put. Okay, you guys are gonna completely disagree with this. This is not my recommendation for new players. I gotta reiterate that. So like, this is a good box for new players. It's just one of my least favorite boxes. Actually, it's my probably gonna be my least favorite box. And that is gonna be the Rise of the Red Skull here. All right, I know you guys are like, what are you talking about? The Rise of Red Skull in the bottom three? Yeah, guys, this box does not have too many things that appeal to me. So let's talk about the player cards first here. So Hawkeye, he is not anywhere close to being one of my favorite heroes. He's probably one of my like lesser favorite heroes in the game. He's just super duper weak. I don't really find his kit fun. Like the how weak he is feels oppressive to me, like against me, I guess. Because I do find some weak heroes fun. Hawkeye is not one of them. It's just like too much detracting from his kit. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of Hawkeye. I'm also notoriously not a big fan of Spider-Woman. Like, I think that she is my number one hero that I have the worst win rate in Marvel Champions with. And I posted, I think, all my games with Spider-Woman on my channel, and I've lost so many of them. Her kit feels so restrictive, even though she can use two different aspects. And really, it's because basic cards, and I love basic cards like the Mansion, Nick Fury, Quinn Carrier. Her resource generator here, Finesse, only generates WoW resource for an aspect card. So you can't even use it for like her own identity specific cards that aren't aspect cards. So like if I play Finesse, I can't even use Finesse that turn to play Captain Marvel. So like if there is ever a turn where Finesse is in play and I'm not able to use it, it's a trash card. Like that's just my take on it. If I get a resource generator down on the table, I want to be able to use it every single turn. And like that's why I'm also not the biggest fan of Depth Focus, because like if I'm not playing a superpower every single turn with it, it's losing value to me. So Finesse 2 costs for this type of ability. I don't know, not a big fan, guys. And she has 2 copies of it. So like I feel like I have to pay for it and then like I can't use it to generate resource on the turn that I use it. Because if I want to play like a basic card or Captain Marvel or like Jessica Drew's apartment, I can't even use it for that. But the other cards you can use it to pay for. Unfortunately, you can't use it to pay for self-propelled glide either, because this is not an aspect card. But like her other cards here, like the Contaminant Immunity, Inconspicuous, these are aspect cards. So yeah, and then the way she works is that with pheromones, it's so powerful on non-steady, non-star enemies because you stun and confuse enemy. So you do it to the villain. So like whenever she's facing against very weak scenarios, she feels overpowered. But if you actually take her against like Expert Ronin or Expert Venom Goblin or Expert Magneto, then more difficult villains, I mean she's not going to be as good and she'll struggle more than heroes that you would normally think are weaker than her. So like I just don't like that mechanic at all. Yeah, and then let's talk about the villains here. So the encounter cards, we got Crossbones. I feel like he's just super easy and he's like very he's very streamlined. Like I feel like I can't do a bunch of different things with him, but like he's not super difficult, and then he's also easy to rush down. So like I don't know, not a big fan of the scenario. It's all right. I don't really hate him. Absorbing Man, I mean, he's known to be one of the easiest villains in the game. I don't think he's the easiest, but I mean, he's just all right as well. We got Taskmaster, who I actually like a lot, but the more I play him, the more easy I feel like he gets. He's just like too easy, right? I think this is a fair box for like new players, but like I don't know, guys, like he's just so easy. And then we have Zola here. I mean, Zola is he's definitely my favorite villain of the box actually. So he's very fun. Zola's probably the one villain in this box that I find myself going back to over and over again, and I think that he has very interesting mechanics. Zola I actually like a lot. Yeah, he's just not enough to push everything else from the box up. And then finally we have the Red Skull as the capstone villain. Red Skull, I enjoy playing him. He gets a little bit like boring sometimes because he's always doing the side scheme thing. There are ways to make him, in my opinion, more difficult than Ronin. All you gotta do is put in like the Legions of Hydra module into Red Skull, and like he gets like ramped up because he's basically gonna be playing in heroic mode there because he'll have that hazard in play, and it's very difficult to get rid of because that side scheme summons Madam Hydra, who adds more threat whenever she activates, and she'll activate right away because this all happens during the villain phase. So very, very annoying there. He could definitely be very difficult with the right modules, but yeah, not my favorite villain either. So I mean, Zola is definitely the cream of the crop here, but just having one good aspect. I mean, the heroes I'm not a big fan of. The villains, only Zola is cool. So yeah, I mean, this goes in the bottom here. I do want to say this is a good box, a great box for new players. I know it's out of print now, so you know that's probably indicative of like how much the community likes this box. I know that the community really enjoys this box. So you know, this is just my own personal opinion here and my own personal hot takes. So you know, feel free to let me know down in comments that I'm wrong. But yeah, this is probably one of my least favorite expansions. Okay, so we did a hot take. We gotta do a non-controversial take next. And I don't know if I have. Oh no, this is definitely gonna be one. The core set. Core set goes in best three or goaded. Um, Let's look at the core set first. Let's jump back over to Hall of Heroes. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. I feel like I'm gonna bump it up to goaded, right? I think it's the best expansion. I don't know if you guys would consider it an expansion. If not, just like imagine it's not on the list. But I want to have like 10 boxes because I feel like that's a pretty cool number to talk about here and rank them. So we have Spider-Man Peter Parker, my favorite hero in the game of Marvel Champions. Not only in terms of like theme, but the mechanics. I find him super sound, very simple, but he can do so many unique things and has aspect hooks in every single aspect, even to this day, which is super cool. As new cards come out, they synergize with them, and it's very, very fun. Like a lot of the new heroes don't have synergies in specific aspects, like only in some aspects. Spider-Man, every single aspect, guys. I just love this hero. So cool. We got Captain Marvel. I also really enjoy her kit. She has like crazy drawing power, crazy economy, also very fun. She-Hulk, I love this hero as well. Another one of my favorites. I love flipping back and forth with her. I love her in the pool aspect. We got Tony Stark Iron Man, another one of my favorites. I mean, these are all heavy hitters for me, guys. I love building out here. He's like the classic build out hero, building out his suit. T'Challa, Black Panther. I mean, he's been growing on me lately. I still like the Shuri Black Panther more, like that hero pack. But T'Challa here, I mean, it's T'Challa, guys. That's really cool. You have the Wakanda Forevers. Not my favorite mechanic, but I like the theme of it. And the Golden State is my favorite card in his kit. I mean, that's really cool here. Vibranium, he's super rich. Yeah, I mean, he has an interesting kit here as well. And then with the villains here, we got Rhino, we got Claw, and we got Ultron. I mean, yeah, I like Ultron the most probably. Rhino, he's really fun with like the Infinity Gauntlet. Claw, it's a lot of people's favorite deck tester. Not mine, but I still appreciate him for what he does. He's definitely a villain that I don't hate. So yeah, I mean this box, guys, I feel like I like it more than Sinister Motives. Yeah, we're just gonna bump it up here. We're gonna put Sinister Motives down to the best three. Actually, it's gonna be like three here. So like maybe I should put best four. But yeah, best three expansions. Core box is just gold. It's not an expansion. It's the core box. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, guys. Are we getting a core box 2.0? We're about to find out soon if we are. But yeah, I think it's goaded. If they do make a core box 2.0, it better be better than this core. Cause if this goes out of print, guys, it's gonna be sad for me. But yeah, okay, I think that that's not very controversial. I think a lot of people would agree that the core set is awesome and one of the best products in Marvel Champions, if not the best, and it's the best for me. Okay, we are halfway done here. We got 5 expansions ranked. We got 5 more. Okay, I'm gonna do a hot take here. Ooh, should I do? No, no, no. Okay, I have one hot take saved up. We're gonna save a hot take here. Let's do. Okay, we're gonna do Age of Apocalypse. Okay, I think it goes bottom 3 for me. Okay, I do want to say again, I like every expansion in Marvel Champions. So like bottom 3 is not a bad thing, but yeah, I think thinking about how the scenarios are in the Age of Apocalypse. Actually, let's jump over here so I can click on it. All right. So like Bishop, I love a lot. He's one of my favorite heroes. Magic is not one of my favorites, but I don't mind her. So heroes aren't bad. The villains though, like so Eunice, I don't hate him, but he doesn't have anything really interesting that I really care about. We had the Four Horsemen. I'm not a big fan of this scenario. Yeah, I feel like that it can also be pretty swingy. I feel like if you like stats lock them, they kind of like don't do what they want to do. I appreciate them for what they are though. So like mechanically, they're definitely not bad, and I do have fun playing the scenario. It's just like a lot of upkeep too with the different effects with the different villains. So like just a lot of things going on. Not my favorite thing to have so many different moving pieces. And then we have Apocalypse One. I like the scenario a lot. He's probably my favorite scenario of the box. Yeah, he's very, very cool. I like the adventure type scenario. He's like the better Hela in my opinion, right? You have to climb up the towering citadel, defeat, climb out the heart of the Empire, do all the stuff, clear all the side schemes, defeat those prelate minions, and then you can finally defeat him whenever he's no longer worthy. That's pretty thematic and fun. Dark Beast, I'm not the biggest fan of. I feel like he's also like just not really that unique. He's okay. He's like straightforward, but then he has like the environments which makes him not straightforward. So like he has like these environments that give me the vibe of like he's not straightforward, but then like he doesn't have the appeal of being straightforward because of that. And then he's also not super complex. So you want like a complex scenario, he's like kind of straightforward. So it's like I don't know. He kind of like doesn't get the best from both worlds. He gets like the worst from both worlds in my opinion. So yeah, he's not my favorite. And Sabiner, I mean, just a lot of for me, guys, upkeep with these force responses because I keep forgetting when it changes forms, you have to trigger that force response in each form. That's I don't know. I just always forget that. So, but other than that, he's not bad. He's grown on me a lot lately. I know Villain Theory loves this scenario. So yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, guys. But yeah, just I mean, does it deserve? It's just all the other expansions. I think I just like more. I think that's the problem. I just like other expansions more, so that's why it's like in the bottom three. But like no knock on. Like I feel like I trashed it kind of here, like these scenarios. But like I like this one. This is not bad. I really like this scenario. This is not bad, and the units is not bad either. Like I don't know, guys. It's okay. We may move it. We may bump it up. Yeah, we're just gonna have it here for now. Okay. Next we're gonna do a non-hot take. I think that this is not a hot take. I think that next evolution, most people have in the bottom three. I'm gonna put it in the bottom three as well. But you guys know I love Cable. He's one of my favorite heroes. So like, let's let's put next evolution on top first, and then we'll take a look at the cards here and see if I still feel that way. Next evolution has some villains that I really don't like. Okay, so Cable, one of my favorite heroes in the game Marvel Champions. I think Cable is the strongest hero. He's super fun. I love his player side schemes, his missions. That's an awesome mechanic. Um, we got Domino. She is, I used to hate her a lot. I've grown a lot to like her a lot more. So I respect her a lot more for what she does. And I do have fun playing her. So she's really went up for me. We have Morlock Siege. Morlock Siege is not my first scenario. There's too many villains. They're not iconic. I don't remember them. And then I used to mix up on the run with Morlock Siege. So I do want to give a shout out to Villain Theory, to Evo, to Nar Antlers, who really put me on the run being a lot better than what I gave it credit for. It's still not like my favorite scenario though, just because like it really changes depending on which villain that you get, right? So Morlock Siege, you have like a couple of these villains that you have to take down. For on the run, you just randomly get one of them, and then that's your only villain throughout the entire game. So like depending on the different effects, you may get like a really easy, boring game, or like a very difficult game, depending on which one you get. Yeah, I think Harpoon is a pretty difficult one there. But yeah, not my favorite. Juggernaut, I like a lot. Juggernaut's like top tier for me. Maybe just because I like Juggernaut. But yeah, having a scenario with here, he's very thematic. He feels like a brute. He hits hard. He feels dumb. That's like very cool. And I also like Mr. Sinister. He's probably my favorite villain of this box. I like him a lot as well. I think that he's also very thematic. I love his like bulking up stuff here, focusing in like getting to progress his schemes gives him more genetic traits, and he has like flight, telepathy, and super strength, which is like very thematic to Sinister. So I really like that with Sinister. He's definitely my favorite villain in the box. Strife, I like despise Strife, guys. This is not a scenario that I like. I feel like he's the worst capstone villain. He's just super swingy. He can be super easy or super difficult. So much upkeep because he increases your hand size here on a stage 2B. You get +2 hand size, but you also remember to increase the resource cost of each player card by 1. So like I'm always forgetting that, guys. And he has Stalwart, so you gotta remember all these constant effects on this stage 2B. Not a big fan of Strife. All right, so man, let me know down in the comments, guys. Do you guys feel like, based on what I said, do I like Next Evolution more than Age of Apocalypse, or do I like Age of Apocalypse more? I think for me, Next Evolution has higher peaks than Age of Apocalypse, but like lower lows. Age of Apocalypse is like more consistently good. Um, I'm gonna put Next Evolution on top. I think because maybe it would have been behind, but because I've grown to like Dom a lot more, especially like of late, and I've also grown to like On the Run more. I think that this will go above Age of Apocalypse here. I also like Cable more than Bishop, and I like Sinister more than Apocalypse One. Do I like Sinister more than Apocalypse One? Actually, I like Apocalypse One a lot. Maybe not, but like Juggernaut and Sinister are like really high up with Apocalypse One, and like none of the other scenarios really match up there for me. So like, yeah, we'll just put it like that. Yeah, we'll put. I may change it before we end this list. So yeah, I think a lot of people don't like the scenario, but I think it's underrated. It's a very awesome box, and I think like for a buyer's guide, this is one of my highly recommended expansions. There, similar to like the Rise of Red Skull, is like most people's first recommendation. I think that this is a very good expansion with the player side schemes. This is highly recommended by me, and yeah, I think it's a really good box. Even though I have it in the bottom three, yeah, it's gonna get really tough here, but I'm glad we got rid of the bottom three because like these are hard to like put because all expansion Marvel Champs I think are worth it and are really fun. So okay, let's just yeah, we're gonna leave this here for now and we'll see we change that later. Okay, so next we are gonna do Mad Titan Shadow. I think this is also not a hot take. But I'm gonna put it in the middle three. Actually, it's a hot take if I put it behind Galaxies Most Wanted, but it's not controversial if I put it in front of it. So, okay, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at Mad Titan Shadow here. I like so Ronin. I like that scenario more than any Mad Titan Shadow scenario. You guys know I like Ronin, but the other scenarios I don't know. Okay, Ebony Maw, not a big fan of the scenario. I find that so like I always talk about this when I talk about Ebony Maw, so like I feel like it's only right for me to say it again. But Ebony Maw, he has these spells here, and all of them have surge. So like it's never happened to me, but technically you could review a fireball, which will surge into a fireball, which will surge into manipulation, surge into another one, surge into this, surge into this, surge into this, surge into this, surge, and then surge into like a regular encounter card. So like hypothetically, you could surge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 spells, and then like you get like another card that could surge like under fire or something like that, right? So like of any scenario in the game World Champions, he has the highest chance of surging the most cards, more than Ronin, guys. Ronin can't surge that much. Okay, so like, yeah, like Emily Maul, I think he has the potential of the biggest surge train. And if that happens, is that game over, guys? I feel like that's game over. Because if you have both fireballs here on the same timer of 4 counters, and you do 8 damage, you have to do all these other effects too. I don't know, guys. I feel that's pretty tough. And this one does damage as well, the Rebel Storm, right? I don't know. I'm just worried about that. So like, I don't have the most fun playing him either. So like he's not my favorite scenario. Okay, let's move on to this one. This one I feel like it's just the easiest scenario in Marvel Champion. So like I'm not the biggest fan of how easy it is. I feel like I can't lose whenever I'm playing it. So it doesn't really stand out to me just because it's just super duper easy. So not a big fan of this scenario either. I do enjoy it, like just like winning, but like it just feels too easy. I don't really find myself wanting to play it again. Okay, oh, Thanos is my favorite scenario in the box. Thanos is really cool. He feels the match. He feels epic as well, just like Venom Goblin and a Ronin, but it's like a tier easier than them, right? He's more easy than Magneto as well. I wish that he was more difficult to beat the Max Thanos. I like how the Infinity Gauntlet works with his kit, and I like his main scheme stage here. Whenever he advances stage 2A, he snaps the gauntlet, and half of your deck is removed from the game. Very thematic. It sucks though, but it's thematic, and that's fun. So yeah, Thanos is a very, very cool scenario here. With Hela, Hela I think just gets completely outclassed by Apocalypse 1, unfortunately. So yeah, she's not one of my favorites. And we have Loki here. Loki is a slog. I don't like Loki either. He's the most annoying and long scenario in Marvel Champions. On expert mode, he has 3 stages you gotta take out, so it's 20 times 3, 60 hit points. That's the most of any expert villain, so it's just a lot of hit points there. In multiplayer, these games like never end. I played him a few times multiplayer. It is not my favorite because it's so freaking long, and he just like keeps on delaying you. He's not as difficult as what a lot of people say, at least in my opinion, but he like tries to delay you and stall the game, just make things longer. By like he'll like switch forms to like this form where he can't take damage if a side scheme is in play. He'll like switch like stalwart forms and just like do annoying shenanigans to you. So yeah, it's not my favorite. So I don't know. Okay, let's talk about the heroes here. So the heroes, we got Adam Warlock and Spectrum. Spectrum, not the biggest fan of, but I don't really hate her. Adam Warlock, actually like a lot. So like, okay, I mean, based on that, where I, hmm, I think I'm gonna put it for sure behind Galaxy's Most Wanted. I'm thinking about bumping one of these up in front of Mad Titan's Shadow. I mean, it's gotta be next evolution, right? I think we're gonna move up next evolution to here. This feels bad because now I gotta put something else in the bottom 3 and I don't want to do that. But I think like sounding it out, do I even like, do I like Age of Apocalypse more than, these 3 are very hard for me to rank. It stinks that like it's a different tier. I kind of wish it was just like in order because then like I wouldn't feel as bad as putting something in a bottom 3. Guys, I hate this tiers that I made. Why do I have a bottom 3 here? This is so difficult to rank. Yeah, okay. Let me think here. The thing with Mad Titan Shout is the Infinity Gauntlet module. I mean, that's one of my favorite modules in the game. Oh, we don't have it here. It's gonna be in the counter cards. One of my favorite modules in the game of Marvel Champions is gonna be at the bottom here. Um, you can give this to any villain. Just Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna rank it lower. So I love the Infinity Gauntlet module. I think it's awesome. Mechanically, I don't think it's the most interesting thing. I feel like it's kind of simple for what it does and doesn't really feel as thematic as I would like. Where like after the villain activates, you just like flip one of these stones. It is difficult though, but it's not my favorite module. It's one of my favorites because I like the theme, but the theme carries it so much. I feel like I'm gonna detract points, even though this is a biased tier list. I feel like I'm gonna detract points. I'm gonna put Mad Titan Shadow in the bottom three, guys. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. That doesn't feel good. Okay. Well, okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna leave it there. Maybe I'll change it in the future. I don't know. All right. Next, let's do Civil War. All right, guys. This is the newest expansion. Civil War to me, it's best three, guys. Civil War is freaking awesome. I love this expansion so much. I know a lot of people have decided that they are quitting Marvel Champions because of this expansion, and they're like this is gonna be the only expansion that like they skip buying. That's totally okay. I have nothing against that. You know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I know a lot of people don't like PvP. That's okay. I know a lot of people don't like the mechanic of fighting the leaders actually, but I love fighting the leaders. And Tigra and Hulkling are two of the coolest mechanical heroes in the game of Marvel Champions, or two of the heroes with the best mechanics in my opinion. Like it's just lore wise, I don't really know these characters, so like I can't really like vibe with them as much in that way, like in terms of theme. But their mechanics are so fun. Both Hulkling and Tigra are both awesome to play. Very good experiences with them. And then the villains here, I mean, we got Captain Marvel, we got Iron Man. Iron Man's one of my favorite villains now already. He's jumped up there. We have Spider Woman, who's my least favorite of the box, but she's still like a fun, straightforward fight. I don't hate her like in any way. And we have Captain America, who's also jumped to one of my favorite villains of the box. So yeah, this is a pretty awesome expansion, guys. Yeah, and PvP. PvP is so fun. I like PvP more than like basically every campaign. Maybe we should talk about the campaigns a little bit here. I'll go over the campaigns at the end here, and maybe that might change some of my rankings for this list here. But yeah, Civil War. I don't think it's gonna reach like peak solo slash co-op play like Mutant Genesis or Sinister Motives, but it's up there. I like the theme a lot of these leaders. I like facing like quote unquote good guys, like Captain America and Iron Man. I mean, those guys are very, very fun. And I just like the straightforward scenarios, right? Simplicity. That's why I love the core box so much. I like simplicity. I like things that can be like built upon. And simple to me is fun. So yeah, one of my favorite expansions in the game, Marvel Champions. And then lastly, we got the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here. Is this? It's tough. Let's hop over to Hall of Heroes again. Hall of Heroes is the GOAT. Let me see. So we gotta jump up here. Okay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also a new expansion. So like I think it doesn't reach the like peaks that I want, but like it's consistently good. So Maria Hill, love this hero. She's awesome. A lot of people don't like her 'cause, like she's too powerful, but I don't think that she's as powerful against Steady Star, like the tougher difficulties. Um, Nick Fury, Nick Fury, I like. I enjoy playing him. I don't hate him. I think that he's interesting for the game in the way that he wants to be in his like stealth suit or like his assault form suit. So like that's interesting too. Um, we got like nice reprints here as well. Black Widow is a awesome like straightforward scenario, and she has like an interesting mechanic here, but she still feels straightforward in how she plays even with this mechanic. She adds tons of threat, which is pretty thematic. So like yeah, she's pretty cool. Batroc I like as well. He's like a nice adventure type of scenario, which is fun. He's just like super easy, I feel like. No, he can get difficult though, especially if you play him on an Expert 2 Standard 2, which I've done before in multiplayer, so like that really ramped him up. So yeah, I mean, I think that he's a fun scenario if you like make him more difficult. Um, we have Modok. Modok, I used to like a lot. The more that I played him, I feel like that he's dropped for me now. Um, yeah, I feel like he's just kind of weird. Like how I was talking about like simple scenarios. He's like the opposite of simple, and I feel like the way that he works is like kind of difficult sometimes in like terms of like not him being like a difficult scenario to take down, but like how his mechanics operate and all of that. And it can be a little bit like too much. So he's not my favorite. And then we have Thunderbolts, Citizen V, I love this scenario. This is a very fun scenario here. I love having the elite Thunderbolts, swapping around, attacking you like Moonstone, Songbird. All of these guys are very fun. And then Baron Zemo is my favorite villain in the box. I like him a lot. I know a lot of people like hate him, hate him, hate him. I think he's awesome. I think that he's also the most difficult villain. Whenever you flip him, you have to plan for that flip, or else he goes like insane at you here with the 4 scheme, 2 attack. He'll also with his he'll also grab his sword too. I think through the main scheme, something like that. He'll like grab Baron Zemo's sword plus 2 attack. Crazy effect, and after he attacks and defeats a character, so like if you jump up with an ally, you place a secret counter on a board member environment. I do like get the upkeep. He has like a decent amount of upkeep, but like for me, for some reason, those upkeep with environments, it's a lot easier to manage because the way that his environments work here, where are they gonna show it here? No, it's probably at the bottom. So like Baron Zemo, it's required to use these environments with the scenario. And the thing with these is that I never have to forget about them because they don't have like a constant effect. They are just an action that I can do. So I don't remember to do the action, it's fine. If I remember to, I can just use this action here, spend 2 resources of this type, do remove a counter and then like heal damage, or spend 2 mentals and like remove 2 that from the scheme, or like spend 2 physicals and like do 2 damage to enemy. So like that feels smooth. Like upkeep where like it's not like when this happens you have to remember to like do yourself an encounter card. I always forget like stuff like that. It's like it's just there, and then if I want to, I can trigger that effect and I can choose when and where it happens. So like that's always like in my mind whenever I'm playing scenarios. So like these are easy for me to remember, and like I can easily play Baron Zemo without making mistakes, even though he has like some upkeep. Versus like playing like Venom, I constantly mess up the upkeep on Venom, even though I do like the scenario because I'm forgetting to give myself a boost whenever I attack and damage him, right? So yeah, I think it works differently there, at least in my mind. So like, I don't know, guys. I think it's a pretty nice expansion. I'm gonna, oh man, I think I'm gonna put it above next evolution, but that means I'll have to drop Age of Apocalypse down to bottom 3. So is this gonna be the list, guys? Am I gonna finalize this here? Let's see. This doesn't feel right with Mad Titan Shadow down so much. And honestly, I like Age of Apocalypse too. Um, okay, let's look at campaigns here really quick. I'm gonna just go through all the campaigns. I haven't played all the campaigns though, so I can't really speak on it too much. So I played Sinister Motives this campaign. I did enjoy it. I just felt like a lot of times so there's like a risk to reward ratio each time you clear through the campaign log. And the thing is, I feel like that oftentimes the punishment that you get from like getting stuff done is worse than the reward you get, which doesn't feel good to me at all. I kind of wish that, like for me, this would be a perfect campaign if the villains, no matter what, have that punishment for you. And if you clear off enough rewards, you get the benefits. Or if you, do the good stuff like clear off all in the main before you finish the snare and stuff like that, then you can get rewards to balance against that. That would be cool. But basically, the way that works is that if you are not able to get the rewards, you also don't get any punishment. So the villains are also weak, but you're also weak. So if you want the fun stuff and the powerful stuff, you also ramp the villains up a lot, which to me feels like, why am I doing all this hard work to get these rewards, but it also punishes me? Which I get it because they explain it, in the campaign that the reason why is because you're building your reputation so that you're more notorious against the villains, so that they really want to like take you down more. So like I guess I kind of get it with that, but like I just kind of wish that we had more powerful rewards that outweighed the punishments from the villains. But yeah, I mean, I think I would say that's like the closest to being like a perfect campaign. I have not done Mutant Genesis, but I've heard good things. PvP is really fun, and I have more fun in PvP than any other campaign that I played. So Civil War, I think, is better than a campaign mechanic in Marvel Champions. And then Galaxies Most Wanted, a lot of people praise this as the best campaign. I don't think I would disagree. It's a very cool campaign. I love the marketplace. You have a lot of versatility in what you can buy. So it is fun. I think it's just the villains, once again, it's the villains. They ramp up so hard. But I think that for this one, it's not necessarily the villains ramping up because you're getting prizes. I think that there's actually a really good balance. This might be the best campaign because the villains don't really get as much stuff as you do whenever you get like these powerful benefits, but they just get stuff that they'll get no matter what. So like Ronan has like this Kree Supremacy side scheme, which is like just like the worst thing in the world. It has like every icon on it, like Hazard, Crisis, Acceleration, Amplify. But I know that they did a lot of that to take that out. But the other scenarios also have like these nasty things going on, And like I think it's cool that no matter what, they're always gonna be in play in the campaign, but you can get buffs for yourself. So I think actually Galaxies Most Wanted is the best campaign mechanic, even though the villains are a bit too oppressive, and you have to be in the mood to like potentially get beat down or like really min max your decks to like face this campaign here. So like, but that's nothing to do with the actual campaign mechanic. The mechanic's fun. So yeah, I'll probably rank the campaign high. Should I move it up, guys? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna move it up because I know a lot of you guys would not like if I put in the best three. The Agent of Shield. The campaign's not the worst. I do feel like that it's not as interactive as Sinister Motives and Galaxies Most Wanted. I wish that there was more interaction. It just feels like the board environments there doing their thing, which I don't mind. Like it's not bad in my opinion. Next Evolution, I've heard and I've seen that it's quite easy and it really just ramps the player up. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I haven't actually played it, so I can't really, give my own thoughts. The Age of Apocalypse campaign I have played. This is the worst campaign in the game. I would put it like in the bottom in terms of campaign. But I do know that they had to change how the campaign worked because I think originally they're supposed to come with dice in the box, but like it just didn't work out with like the budget for like how these expansions work. So they changed the campaign mechanic entirely. But the missions here feel like an entirely separate thing. It feels like a chore that you just have to do, or should you like get punished for it? And it feels like completely separate from like the actual scenario. So like for this campaign, all I did for every single scenario is I'll get the villain down to like death range, and then I'll just be completely built out. I would spend like 1 to 3 turns clearing off the campaign missions, then defeat the villain. So basically, it just stalled every single game by like 1 to 3 turns, because like I could have just defeat the villain like normal, but then I had to do all that like mission stuff before I do that. So like I just wish there was more interaction with the missions and the actual scenario whenever you're doing it. But yeah, I mean, I really wish we could have seen what the dice were because that might have been super duper fun. But yeah, not my favorite campaign. That's probably the worst campaign in my opinion. I have not played this one or this one for their campaigns, so can't really speak on that. I don't really think the campaigns change much for me, except maybe drops this down underneath Mad Titan Shadow, guys. Okay, I like Thanos more than APOC 1. I like probably every scenario in this box more than every other scenario in this box, though, other than Thanos. So I feel like with that, I had to put like Mad Titan Shadow behind it. And in terms of the heroes, oh, Adam Warlock and Bishop are like pretty neck and neck. And then Spectrum and Magic are also pretty neck and neck in terms of like they're not my favorites. I don't know. I think because of that, the villains will outweigh it. So I'll put Age of Apocalypse here in front. Okay, this will be my bottom three. I'm gonna lock this in here. And then for the middle three, Agents of Shield or Next Evolution. These can go back and forth. I feel like, uh, man, Cable is awesome. Like the peaks here, we got Cable, Mr. Sinister, and Juggernaut. Those are awesome. But in the lows, and we got Morlock Siege, we got Strife. No one here is as bad as Strife. Like Moda, I don't even like mind that much, especially when I first play him. Like I think he's still fine. Like I wouldn't mind playing Moda right now. Um, and then the other scenarios, they're all fun. Like I feel this is just more consistently fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go Agent of Shield in front of Next Evolution here. And Galaxies Most Wanted, should I drop this down? I know you guys want me to. I don't think I will though. Yeah, I mean, Nebula's terrible, but Collector 2 is awesome. Collector 1's, I know a lot of people aren't gonna like that, but Collector 1's not like the worst. And then Ronin is awesome. Groot and Rocket are pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in the top middle three, and I think this is good here. I think that yeah, Mutant Genesis and Sinister Motives. I mean, I really want to play the Mutant Genesis campaign just because I like Mutant Genesis so much. I think it would be fun. I have no clue how this campaign works, so but like I feel like it would be fun just doing this campaign right here. So yeah, I mean that's how much I like this box. So I think it goes in front of Civil War. I mean, could Civil War ever like? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, well, no, I think I'm gonna put Civil War behind it. But like Civil War, man, if Civil War had like two different heroes, like even though I love Hoagland and Tigra, if they just had like heroes that like I knew and loved, I don't know, like Daredevil, or like I mean he's like not an Avenger, but like like for example like Spider-Man and like Captain America or something like that. I mean this will probably be like I don't know. I mean, it probably needs to have Spider-Man for it to go here. But like, if it doesn't have Spider-Man, just like two like more well-known heroes that like I really like before Marvel Champions, like I didn't learn them from Marvel Champions, like Hulkling and Tigra. I mean, it would definitely go above Mutant Genesis for me. But right now, I think Mutant Genesis is good here. Magneto, awesome. He's a classic villain here. So yeah, all right, guys. So we are locking this in. This is going to be my order here for the 10 expansions in Marvel Champions. We have Core Set. I think that it is a league of its own. Actually, Sinister Motives is kind of like in the same tier as the Core Set, I feel like. But I'll put it down here. So yeah, this is goated. You have to get the Core Set here. We'll see if they release a Core Set 2.0. But if this goes out of print, guys, I'm going to be very sad. This is just an awesome product here that I want everyone to have a chance to always buy, right? So I want this to be evergreen, always in print. Sinister Motives is out of print. Makes sense why, because it's, you know, the best expansion. So I have it very high up here. Mutant Genesis also very awesome. I think that most people would agree that these are the top 3 products here in Marvel Champions. Yeah, I think that this is pretty non-controversial. Civil War being this high may be controversial. We'll see, like, the longer that you know, it's come out, what people say about Civil War. But from what I heard about Civil War so far, I actually don't even know if this is a hot take. I feel like a lot of people love Civil War, or the people that play Civil War really enjoy it. I haven't heard anyone that's played it and said, like, I don't like it. So, like, I don't know. I feel like this may not even be a hot take. We have Galaxies Most Wanted here. This is a hot take for sure. But you guys have seen on my channel, Ronan is my second most played villain after Venom Goblin, probably. Which one's more? I don't know. Definitely like 1 or 2, and Magneto's gonna be up there as well. So like, just having one of my most played villains, I mean, it's gotta go pretty high, right? Because Venom Goblin, Magneto, Ronan, these are like some of my favorite villains, and I play them the most on my channel. So I think it makes sense. Does that mean I should bump Thanos up? But like, the thing is, Thanos is behind these 3 here. So like, I feel like I can only say that for so long, right? I can't be like, oh, APOC 1 I also really like a lot. Let's like bump the whole box up. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so we have Galaxies Most Wanted here. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, Next Evolution, Age of Apocalypse, Mad Titan Shadow, and then the Rise of Red Skull. That is my list, guys. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of my ranking for the expansions? Do you agree or do you disagree? I would assume that most people would disagree. So I guess the better question is, do you agree with the top 4 here? Do you guys think that these are like the best products in Marvel Champions? Let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about that. And also let me know down in the comments if you are a Galaxy's Most Wanted fan, guys. I know that people like that exist. I've seen it. I've talked to you guys. We've agreed on it. So like, please come out of the comments here, guys, and let me know if you are an enjoyer of Galaxy's Most Wanted. I think that this may be, in my opinion, the most underrated expansion, just because it's usually seen here. And for me, it's like all the way up here. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.